I get it every time I scroll through a racing cockpit listing. I see those glossy photos of a sleek black rig, a driver's seat perfectly angled, the whole thing looking like a piece of a professional race car. Then I read the reviews and the few comments I can find, and suddenly the picture changes. Some people say it feels clunky, others mention they ran out of space in their garage. I'd been there, buying a piece of gear that looked perfect on paper only to find it taking up a corner of the room and not quite delivering the immersion I wanted. That's why I'm doing this deep dive on the Playseat Formula Intelligence Sim Racing Cockpit, so you can skip the guesswork and decide if this is the rig that will actually move you from the couch to the track. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the type of setup this cockpit is built for. It isn't a plug-and-play sit-down-and-go like a wheel and pedal bundle you might find in a starter kit. The Formula Intelligence is a full-size frame meant to replace a conventional chair and desk combo, giving you a dedicated cockpit that mimics the proportions of a real Formula-style car. The frame is made from steel tubing, which means it can hold the torque you'll generate on a direct drive wheel without wobbling, and the geometry is adjustable so you can move the seat forward or back, raise or lower the wheel column, and even tilt the whole rig slightly to match your driving style. What matters most in the real world is how that adjustability translates into daily use. I've spoken with a few owners who spend an hour a day on their rigs for practice, and they all agree that being able to fine-tune the seat position is a game changer. If you're a driver who switches between a Formula 1 style wheel and a LeMans LMP1 wheel, you'll appreciate the quick-release brackets that let you slide the wheel mount forward or backward without retorquing bolts each time. That flexibility also helps if you share the cockpit with a partner who has a different height. You can reset the seat and wheel within a few minutes and be ready to race again. Now, let's get honest about the hidden trade-offs. The Playseat Formula Intelligence isn't a lightweight piece of furniture you can toss onto a balcony. Even though the tubing is thin-walled, the overall mass adds up to roughly 70 pounds. You'll need at least 2 people to get it out of the box and into place, and you'll want a solid floor. Carpet can work, but a hard surface will prevent any subtle flex that could affect feedback. Because the cockpit doesn't include a seat or a pedal platform, you'll have to purchase those separately. That's a plus for people who already own a racing seat they love, but it's a cost and a space consideration for newcomers who thought the all-in-one label meant everything was included. In terms of compatibility, the cockpit shines. It's marketed as highly compatible for eSports and hobby drivers, and that's not just marketing fluff. The wheel mount uses the standard 3-bolt pattern you see on most professional wheelbases, meaning you can attach a direct drive unit like a Fanatec CSLDD, a Logitech G29, or even a Cymacube without adapters. The same goes for the pedal mount. The base includes a universal bracket that takes most pedal plates, so you can upgrade from a basic set to a load cell unit without rebuilding the whole rig. If you're a PC gamer, you'll find the mounting points line up with the most common wheel stands. Console users get the same flexibility because the mount doesn't care whether the signal is coming from Xbox or PlayStation. So, who should actually buy this? If you're a serious sim racer who competes in online leagues, spends multiple hours a week practicing, and already own a high-end wheel and pedal set, this cockpit is a logical next step. The rigidity and adjustability let you extract the most from a direct drive wheel, translating subtle force feedback into a realistic feel that cheap tabletop setups just can't replicate. It also makes sense for a small eSports team that needs a uniform rig for each member because the dimensions are consistent. You can set up a mini studio where every driver gets the same ergonomics. On the flip side, if you're a casual gamer who only hops on a race game once a week, or if you live in an apartment with limited floor space, you might want to rethink. The footprint of the Formula Intelligence is about the size of a standard office desk plus a chair, but the extra length required for the wheel column pushes it closer to a full-size race car cockpit. In a studio that's under 10 feet wide, you'll have to rearrange other furniture or sacrifice storage. Also, if you haven't yet invested in a decent wheel or pedals, you'll need to budget for those components in addition to the cockpit, which can quickly climb into the high 3-figure range. Let's talk